Hi, everyone, and welcome to our 9 a.m. practitioner call. This is a super special call to me. It's every Thursday. And in this call, we have quite a few practitioner healthcare providers. Dr. Patty from San Clemente, California, an integrative medicine doctor, MD, is on this call at least 2 out of the 4 weeks. And when she's here, it's super special, but sometimes she has to go to the hospital, and I believe she is not going to be here today because of that. But so what we do is we go through the X39 stem cell activation patch, the technology, how it works, why practitioners like it. And then we usually go through maybe 5 other technologies on this call, because we know as practitioners, you have a lot of tools in your box to help your folks. And so we want to make sure, at least from the company of LifeWave, you know the tools that you can use. And the last 15 minutes, we always talk about how to set up a practice, like how to get the supply, the patches, the technology to your clients. And I'll train you on that at the end. That does come from Dr. Patty. She was the one that asked me to put that together for her. And I thought it was so good. I thought, well, we could just train everybody to have that if they like it. So that's really what the call's all about. And let's go ahead and start with the X39 technology. If you're new to the call or new practitioner, this is what it looks like. And it is a form of wearable light technology. And what do I mean by wearable light? Well, you wear it. And it actually looks very much like a Band-Aid, but it's so much more. When you open it up, inside is this organic crystal. And it turns out we reflect a low-grade infrared light off of our body. And we know it's true because our light interacts with the light from the sun. When you go outside for 20 minutes a day, as we're supposed to, you activate vitamin D in your body in just the right levels. It's like your body and the sun talk really good together. I like to say, it's kind of like when you think of a beautiful flower and you're pouring a lot of water on the flower and then the sun, it blossoms. Our bodies are kind of like that. You put some light on our body, you give us some water, and watch us blossom. So here's how you put the patch on. You would just stick it right on your hand like a Band-Aid. And what that does is it once again reflects back into you a light wave, and that light actually activates a peptide called GHK copper peptide. Now, that peptide actually activates your stem cells, makes more stem cells, and resets the stem cells to a younger, healthier state. And once again, it does it through light. As Dr. Patty says, she loves this technology because it's non-transdermal. It's not like it's pushing stem cells in your body, right? No, it's using light to activate your own stem cells. They actually call it photobiomodulation, light making change in the body. And for practitioners, maybe when this company started in 2005, David, the owner, inventor, and CEO, was way ahead of his time, and we were probably not quite caught up to light. But today in 2000 and almost 23, can you believe it? We now understand laser therapy, cold laser, red light sauna. I mean, there are many practitioners that are actually doing stem cell treatments, and it starts with something called PRP, plasma-rich platelets. And they pull that out of you, and then they spin it and they send it back in. The next step would be taking stem cells out of your bone marrow and spinning it and putting it back in and activating it with, guess what? A red light. That's like $20,000 treatment. Then there are umbilical cord stem cells that you can get out of the country. Like Tony Robbins just had his shoulder done. He just wrote a new book about, maybe somebody can unmute themselves and remind me the name of his book, but that just came out, where he's researching targeted treatments for repairing ourselves. Well, that 20,000 stem cell injection he got in another country, that's really not that available for all of us in the US, right? So
Life Force.
what's it? Life Force? Sandy,
Yeah.
thank you. So that book is called Life Force. And you may all want to go get that book. I want to get it. Tony Robbins said that 20 years ago, what he saw that the need is that people were not financially safe. So he wrote a book on how to create wealth. Well, now he sees that people are not healthy. And so now he wrote a book to figure out what we can do about that. So it's called, I believe, Life Force by Tony Robbins. So anyway, going back to all of this, what happens if we can activate your own stem cells through light? So David says it's possible. David says that you lose about 50% of your stem cells by the time you're 30 and almost all of them by the time you're 60. So what this patch does is when it activates GHK copper peptide, that peptide acts like a telephone to your stem cells. And it calls up those stem cells and it says, hey, it's time to start marching again. It's time to make more of you and it's time to make you young again. And your stem cells are basically dormant. They're not dead, but they just somehow went on vacation or retirement or some darn thing. And so GHK wakes them back up again. And the stem cells say, great, thanks, let's go work again. So what is the work of a stem cell? Why is someone like Tony Robbins getting a $20,000 stem cell shot in his shoulder? And by the way, he was using umbilical cord, which is the stuff that's left over after childbirth, right? In the woman's cord. That's what he's talking about, just so you know. And so why? Well, stem cells are the only cells in your body that are changeable. They can change into whatever cell your body needs for repair, just like when you were 20. Let me say that one more time. Stem cells are the only cells in your body that are changeable. They can change into whatever cell your body needs for repair, just like when you were 20. So I ask you this, did you have gray hair when you were 20? No, most of you did not. Did you have wrinkles when you were 20? Absolutely not. Heidi and I did have the unibrow when we were 20. Anybody remember that, ladies? When you had so much eyebrow that you didn't know what to do with yourselves and you kind of looked like a boy. Did any of you guys have that kind of eyebrow? I did, until they waxed it all away. Well, guess what? It's growing back again. I don't even have to do that weird stuff that people have to do at my age to make you look like you have eyebrows. I can't remember what that stuff's called. Heidi, you know what that's called, right? Microblading or some darn thing. Anyway, that's for another day. Irene might know about microblading. Anyway, no? Okay. I'm being funny.
I'm the opposite. I have like no eyebrows, but my friend Stephanie had that. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, don't you worry, Irene. That stem cell activation pack going to start growing your eyebrows again. Because what they say that when you put young stem cells on old tissue, you turn the tissue young again. We're not anti-aging. We're literally age reversing. And we've been literally watching ourselves do that for the last 3 years. There's some of us that have been on the X39 since it came out in 2019 for about 3 years. So what does it mean to turn into the cell your body needs for repair? Well, I'd like you to think about this. Everybody can like put on a piece of paper how old you are. Put how old you are on a piece of paper right now. And then write down the 3 things that are kind of chronic for you. If you're my age, I'm 55, what's chronic for me? Chronic for me is keeping this breast cancer in remission, just saying. Chronic for me is bacterial infections that I have a hard time controlling after chemo. Those are my 2 chronics. Everybody, I don't have the chronic bad knee or the lower back or the arthritis or pre-diabetic, but we all got different things, right? So write your little chronic thing and then ask yourself, what if you could activate your stem cells and they could turn into the cell that your body needed to fix that chronic thing? Would you wear these patches? if it fixed that chronic thing. And at the same time, after it fixes the chronic thing, what if it starts reversing the age of what your skin looks like? I was at a party yesterday I don't know if you guys, I'm from California, Orange County, California, and I was at the most fun party in Laguna Woods, and that's a retirement, just people go there to retire. It's a super fun place. And we were patching all the ladies at the party. Everybody was probably about 70 at the party. And I said, what if we could repair your one chronic thing and then your skin starts to look younger, like rebuild your collagen? Would you wear the patches? Oh my God, we were giving 5 patches away to everybody at the party, right? So like, that's just truth. So once again, when you put that stem cell on, you wear it 12 hours on to activate and repair and 12 hours off. Let's say it one more time. 12 hours on to activate and repair and 12 hours off. You can wear it right below the back of the neck or underneath the belly button, but any spot will do. You can see I still need to take mine off. I wore it at the party. I put that right there last night at the party, and actually it probably needs to come off because it's morning. So once again, 12 hours on, 12 hours off, right? And the reason that's the only rule, because your body is light. And if you wear it 24 hours at a time over and over and over again, your body will get used to the signal and it won't work so well. So your whole body's light. So any spot will do. Like if you have like a knee that hurts or a bad shoulder or your lower back, I like to say pop the spot. You could put the patch right there, or you could put it under your belly button or right below the back of your neck, or really anywhere is fine. The only rule is 12 hours on to activate and repair and 12 hours off. So if you put one on right now, when you go to bed tonight, you need to take it off. If you will put one on at nighttime, you would then need to take it off in the morning. Remember, we're going to talk about a few other technologies. So as it relates to the patch technology, it's always 12 hours on, 12 hours off, and every patch technology has its own 12-hour clock. So some people wear some during the day and some patches at night, and you can mix and match, and that's all really good. So once again, the stem cells are going to travel up your body and they're going to turn into the cell your body needs to repair first to live. Then it's going to march and fix the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So Bob Campbell's a great example. He's 71 years old. He's had 6 knee surgeries, a couple feet surgeries, and he's in a lot of pain. And he started the patch, and he thought that his knee was going to get better right away. And it didn't. He first started having more energy, and he stopped taking his 3-hour naps during the day. And then at about month 6, he says he was on the floor playing with his grandkids. And usually he has to use a table to get up, and his knees popped and he got up without the table. And that was at the 6-month mark. And my guess for Bob, there were internal things that needed to be fixed before they went to his knee. Like my guess, his metabolism, his hormones, his heart. I mean, those would be my guess. So make sure that you educate your patients that this is stem cell, but if you're giving a 5-day gift, that's the beginning of the journey, and you really need a month for every decade you are old. And that's why David gives a nice 30-day money back guarantee. So there's no risk. So if you as practitioners want to research more, I want you to write this site down. It's startx39now.com. That's startx39now.com. And this is where you can really see the video. You can see the 1-minute video on light. You can see the 3-minute video on stem cells. This is where you're going to see the patents and studies. You're going to love this. David, the owner, inventor, and CEO of our company, started with a patch called the Energy Patch in 2005. And the reason he started with that patch is the Navy SEALs called him and said, David, we need you to figure out a patch that keeps the guys up at night without stimulants. And that was the beginning of the company. And David's a researcher. So he has 100 patents and he has about 100 studies. So go down here and read the study you want. I love this patent on X39. It basically says, yes, This patch activates GHK copper peptide in the blood, which stimulates your stem cells. And you can't get a patent if the technology doesn't do what you say it's going to do. Also, that's great in that you're not going to have any company copying us because we have a 20-year patent. So David's really good at making that happen. If you want to know more about the X39, you could come down to this video. It's a 18-minute video by David Schmidt on how the patches work and the benefits it helps with. Remember, David is the owner, creator, and CEO of this company, and he is the main inventor. So this is a privately owned company, and this is his baby, and his baby is figuring out technology that really reverses the age of our tissue. I mean, what a great purpose, right? So you'll like that. And then, of course, this is what to expect. And this is really nice to talk to people when they're first starting the patch. In the first few days, you're going to make 4,000 genes younger. Who doesn't want that? 1 to 3 months, you're going to re-stabilize the brain. 3 to 6 months, your stem cells are going to go repair your issues, like Bob Campbell's knee, as an example. 6 to 12 months, you're actually going to reverse your age by about 8 years. I mean, that's all you have to show people, right? Because that's what stem cells do. So if you want to know more, you can also go to our podcast. They're Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays at 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 Eastern, and Fridays at 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 Eastern. And you just go right here, join podcast at the time. And you can see the 30-minute testimonial call and all, so it's about 15 minutes.
Sorry about that.
Of real people having real testimony.
Can I call you back?
And it is then 15 minutes of how the technology works. Also, there's a great call. The Dr. Stacy call is Tuesday nights, the science and technology. It's really Ask Dr. Stacy. It's a great call. So these calls are all about the product, how the product works. Okay. Also, if you're a doctor, you're going to love this. David talks about how the research of the X39 works. So he actually goes through all the studies. But David does not just stop with X39. And if you click here, you can get a rundown of all our technologies that he makes. And he just came up with a new aromatherapy for sleep and energy. And I'll tell you a little bit about that today. And that will be added to this sheet in the next week or so. But if you want to be like Dr. Patty, and you are a practitioner and you like to go deep, what she did is she went to the YouTube LifeWave Health channel. She clicked on that and she just searched whatever she wanted. David Schmidt and X39, David Schmidt and X49, David Schmidt and Alavita. David does a 60-minute video on every technology he makes, and he goes through the science and the benefits of each technology. So you will very much like that. We call it the deep dive on YouTube. Lastly, if you want to just see something that is very demonstrative, watch this 4-minute video on Horses Don't Lie. This is actually on our technology called AccuLife, which is like IceWave for humans. So IceWave goes for humans, AccuLife is for animals. And it's a 2-patch system. You have a brown patch that you put right on the place that you have the most pain, or the animal has the most pain, and a white patch about 3 inches away. And it's like a negative and positive charge. It breaks the connection of pain in the connective tissue. And then, of course, the X39 is going to do the repair. But isn't it nice to get rid of pain while the X39 is repairing? And why I love this video is because the horse is quivering. And when a horse quivers, that's pain. And right after you put the pain patch on the horse, the quiver goes away. And so once again, it's very, horses don't lie, and you can really see what the patches are doing on the animal. So that's basically, and then if you want to know more about David Schmidt, he is right here. So I always like the health practitioners to see where the research is so that they can understand what's going on with the X39, but also I know once you understand the stem cell activation patch, you want to deep dive into all his technologies. So with that, do we have anyone that would like to unmute themselves, a practitioner that may have a testimonial about themselves or about a patient in their clinic? Is there anyone that could unmute themselves and we could have a little talk? I know that, oh, thank you, Amanda. Please unmute yourself. And thank you, Jeff. I'll call on you next. Thank you. Go ahead, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda Grace. I'm a naturopath in Florida, and I haven't used them on a ton of my clients yet, but one that I actually sent them to, she had a kidney removed 6 months ago approximately, and was having phantom pain from that missing kidney. And she told me that the first day, within a few hours of putting it on, the pain went away completely. And I had sent her just a sample of 3. And so she was actually going to see her nephrologist the same day. And she had been afraid to tell her doctor that she was still having this pain. She goes, I didn't want him to tell me that they left something inside and we're going to go back in. But so the doctor was also very excited to hear that it was a non-transdermal patch because she was concerned about contraindications. But the entire 3 days that she was on the patches, she was completely pain-free. And when she stopped the patch after the 3rd day, the pain came back. So that was it was conclusive to her that it was the patches making the difference. So she got a whole pack, actually 3 packs. She signed up as a silver and is starting on them again. And she's starting to notice other things, like you said, kind of peeling back the layers of the onion, going to where the body needs it first. And so I'm eager to see what new things she's experiencing as well.
Thank you, Amanda, for sharing. You know, it's amazing as a practitioner. Amanda is a naturopath, is that correct? And she's basically has clients, and this client, if I understood right, had kidney surgery or something with her kidney, and she had the phantom pain. And honestly, it's amazing that 3 days, like I would say 50% of folks notice something in a 3 to 5 day sample and 50% don't, basically because it just depends on if the stem cell is going to fix first the chronic issue you feel, or if it's going to fix something else first. So it's interesting that for Amanda's client, that within 3 days, the phantom pain went away and then she was out of her sample and it came back. So I'm so excited that you have been able to get her more of the technology and really get there for her. And I know that for Roberto, he is one of our friends, and he's been on dialysis, Amanda, for 21 years. And it was, I cried. And you can go to our Telegram testimonial only and type in like kidney or dialysis in the search to find Roberto's testimonial.
I've seen it. I was very impressed with that. In fact, I send that to a lot of people. They're just blown away with that. It's fantastic.
Right. And that's because literally, you guys, like he hasn't been able to pee for 20 years. I mean, I can't even imagine like how awful that would be. And that he started to be able to go to the bathroom again. I mean, he was in tears at that. And we take things that work well for granted until they don't work well. You know what I mean? And then we're like, oh no. And so it's exciting to watch how the stem cell activation patches are starting to repair. Amanda, may I ask, did your client have anything else other than X39 on, or was X39 the only technology that you put on your client?
She was only using the X39, that's correct.
Wow. So there you go. The X39 is the workhorse of the line. It is David's most advanced technology, and it uses photobiomodulation or light to make change in the body to activate your stem cells to start repairing chronic things. And Amanda, thank you for sharing. Do you have any other stories or anything else you would like to share? It's so nice to meet you, by the way.
Thank you. I do have a friend who is also a client that was in an automobile accident, and she had fractures in her face and a traumatic brain injury, concussion type thing. And she's been patching I think just the X39, although she might be using a different other things now as well. And the doctors have been very, very impressed with the speed of her healing. I don't have anything more specific. I do use biofeedback testing, and I've seen significant improvements in her brain function and that sort of thing with that. But it's not maybe not as conclusive as blood work and x-rays.
Wow, but still nice to see the activity. It kind of goes with what to expect from month 1 to 3. You know, David has a research study, Amanda, on startx39now.com under research and patents. And one of the studies is a brain study. And what it shows is the mapping of a brain. So in the mapping, the brain it's a color map. And the brain is dysfunctional in that it has red and blue, and it's really, it's totally red. It's hot. And then he puts the person on the X39, and in 2 weeks, it goes totally blue. So too cool, but it's changing. And then within 4 more weeks, so 6 weeks, is a perfect combination of red and blue. And in the study, it says we've got the brain basically back in alignment. And so you probably love to read that study based on working with so many people that have, you know, brain things going on, so to speak. So, and there's something else interesting in that, Amanda, is that David says that we have 2 things that happen in the brain or in the body. The first thing is retracing. So you may put a patch on someone, and for a few weeks, they might hurt more, or their brain. I remember Ivory, our NFL player, who has concussions from being hit for 10 years, like a Mack truck, right? He would have like concussions. And so he started the X39, and this is on startx39biz.com, 14 steps to success. Under tab 5, join Telegram, preloaded testimonials under sports. I know that's a lot to dig, but you know, if you want to look at Ivory's actual testimonial, did you like that, Heidi? I did that by memory, which is impressive. That he talks about when he started the X39, he was, I think it was in the season, he was climbing up a ladder to do something, and he started to go, whoa, and he's like, his brain was like doing this. And I remember him getting off the ladder, and he's calling me, he goes, why is my brain doing this? And I said, I think you're retracing, Ivory, which means that the young stem cells are warring with the old tissue, and there's a fight. And then literally by day 10, Ivory said his brain balanced, and he's been so much better. And so he's like, boy, that retracing's no joke. And the other piece is something called the healing crisis, which can also be the young stem cells going after the old tissue, and you can get pain from that. And then boom, all of a sudden, once the pain pops, you're good. I know Heidi maybe can give her testimonial after Jeff, and she can explain how the stem cells worked on her, and then how she had tons of pain in her knee, which I think was a healing crisis. And then all of a sudden, like, the knee popped and the pain's gone. So we'll talk about that in a moment. But Jeff, why don't you unmute yourself? And Amanda,
Excuse me.
Oh, yes, go ahead, Amanda.
Can someone put a link to that testimony that you mentioned in the chat?
Absolutely.
Heidi, maybe, or someone.
Can somebody, Heidi, do you know how to do that? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, do that for me, Heidi, and also put in, hold on, and I'll get you in a second, Jeff. And also, if you could put in startx39now.com and let them know 2 links they can look at. I forgot to show them GHK copper peptide, but Pattison research and GHK copper peptide link. And then remind me, Heidi, to go back and explain GHK. I didn't do a good job on that yet. And Amanda, if it's okay, Jan, put your name and email in chat. And Amanda, if you could call Jan and give us your number, if you'd be interested in being on a Thursday testimonial call, I would love to have that story for more people, if that's something you're interested in, of course. And anyone that's on this practitioner call that would like to come and talk with us on a Thursday night, please call Jan, as I would love to hear more stories. Okay, so let's go to you, Jeff, and unmute yourself and tell us who you are and what's been going on with the patches for you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. My name is Jeff Pattison. I own a regenerative medicine clinic with my father in Phoenix. And Karen came in. She's like an angel that dropped out of the sky. But I've been patched for about 2 weeks. I'll tell you my piece, and then I'll tell you a patient story. I've been a chiropractic kid my whole life. I've had a hernia disc in my L5. 2 years ago, I did stem cell injection in my L5 disc space, making big progress, right? Still getting chiropractic care, still needing chiropractic care. Fast forward to yesterday, it's the X39 now is 6 weeks, and I moved it from the normal place in the X39 to actually I put it on my L5 disc space 3 days ago. And yesterday, when my father adjusted me, he uses an activator technique, is the first time I was not in need of any adjustment in 57 years.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just like, my father's like, I can't believe this. He was like astounded. In activator technique, you go from your legs all the way up your body with various tests, muscle tests, to the balancing aspects of what the activator technique is. And I'm just blown away. And I have absolutely no pain. And I've been to the gym like crazy, stressing my back, trying to get myself to hurt and trying to really understand this so that we can offer this to more and more patients. That's my testimony. It's crazy, amazing. I can't even believe it. A patient we had come in 2 Wednesdays ago. She was hiking in Phoenix and she came in and, she was in maybe on Monday, and then she was in on Wednesday, and her whole side of her right face was bruised and scarred, and she had literally fell on her face hiking, right? So we patched her. We gave her patches for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. She came in on Monday. This is just like before my eyes. And the following Monday, and you could barely tell that she had you would never know that she had fallen on her face in a hiking. It was unreal.
Wow. And
Yeah.
Jeff, what kind of practice do you run again? Are you a chiropractor like your father?
No, I'm not. I'm the case manager, the marketing guy, the business guy, the accounting. I do everything that my father doesn't want to do.
So you work together in clinic, but you're the business and he's the treating side, so to speak.
That's correct. Yeah, we have a nurse practitioner that leads the clinic. We're doing injections, PRP, stem cell injections, and now having this as an option to be able to offer to patients, it's just an absolute blessing.
So let me ask you about that. This is really interesting. So you're in a clinic that actually does everything I just was talking about, PRP, stem cell injection. Do you do red light to activate?
We haven't done that, but I've done PRP in both of my shoulders, my knees, my back. I've done it in my face, I've done it everywhere.
What can you we know more about this technology, but can you explain a little bit how PRP works versus this technology and kind of how you feel about both and why?
Yeah, well, I'm a chiropractic kid. I grew up in the Midwest. I moved to Minneapolis to become a chiropractor, right? So I have like pre-med degree and 2 years into the world, and I've been in the health space my entire life. I'm also a health coach for Optavia, which is amazing. I have clients all over the country. So I've been in the health space, and when I had the opportunity to move to Phoenix to do this regenerative medicine, I learned a lot about PRP, and basically what it is, you're taking your blood out, right? You're spinning it down, layman's terms, and you're injecting it back into where you have pain, and it can be along your spine, your joints, and ultimately, what's hyaluronic acid, it helps the healing process start. And it's really, really an amazing process, but it's expensive.
What does it cost? What does it cost to do one of those injections?
I don't like needles. We're not in Scottsdale, which is in Scottsdale, they might charge something like for 3 sessions, $4,000 or $5,000.
Wow.
In our clinic, we're charging $500 per session. If you do 3 of them, it's $1,200. But if you don't like sitting, like I don't like needles. I can barely sit there and have my blood drawn, right? It makes me pass out and freak out. So wearing these patches, I don't have to do that anymore.
Well, what's interesting too, Jeff, is that, and tell me what you think of this, but I've always wondered, well, if I got the PRP and they spun it down and re-injected, but I'm 55. And so David says all my stem cells aren't really that active anyway.
That's
So
correct.
I'm just injecting old cells back in.
That's
But
correct.
what
Well,
is, yes or no?
that's another, yeah, absolutely correct. The older we get, and then we have patients that come on and they're on lots of medication and they're just unhealthy, right?
Right.
And, you know, there's no reason to take your blood. It's not going to help you, but
Right.
it's not going to hurt you. But, you know, in some cases, you know, patients are going to do that either way, but it's also costly.
So what
So-
happens if we just, I always wondered, like, what happens if we teamed with these clinics and
Yes.
we activated their stem cells first and then pulled out the
Absolutely.
activated stem cells, or even one of my doctor friends, we were talking about this, he does PRP to bone marrow, so they pull the bone marrow out. That's like the next more aggressive path.
Yeah, that's the most aggressive way to do it. Yeah.
Most aggressive. But then he said, then what they do, they re-inject that with red light, and it takes
Yeah.
6 weeks for it even to start activating the stem
Oh,
cells
yeah.
again. So what happens if we just activated you and then you did all that, or activated you and you never had to do that, like for less than a cup of coffee a day? Like, I'm not kidding. You know, this costs Jeff to wear something like, I don't know, $3 a day, and you can activate your own. So I'm so excited that you are here and that you've told us that your dad didn't have to adjust you. That's a big deal, because it seems like with chiropractic, you go out, I go out of adjustment every week, and almost, it feels like.
Yeah, it's an absolute blessing.
Thank you, Jeff, for sharing. And I don't know if you would like to come on a Thursday call, but
Anytime.
could you call Jan and give her or your number, and then we'll reach out, because
Yeah.
I always think the testimonials on this Thursday are so good. I want to repeat, or in the morning, I want to repeat them at night if possible. So I see I have Sandy's hand up. Sandy, why don't you unmute yourself?
Yes, I'm from the Chicago area. I'm a health kinesiologist since 2003. I'm 70 years old and I have had some chronic issues. When actually it was one of my clients that began taking the X39 for her depression. She's been chronically depressed. We've worked on her for probably 2 years on and off with this depression, and she would always make progress. You know, everything we would do would help a little bit. But then I think through this whole pandemic and her isolation and everything, it really took a toll on her. So she was really spiraling down much faster than before. So she started these X39s. She took them, she said 10 days. She called me up and said, I'm not depressed anymore. I have my life back. So I'm like, okay, this sounds too good to be true. I've been like others into health things my entire life since I was 19 years old, and tried many different things and without success. Everything works a little for a while, you know. So the health kinesiology that I'm health kinesiologist practitioner, that seemed to be a good Band-Aid for a lot of things. But so I looked into this. I did look at your research page there, your Start X39. I looked at the research on the peptide, the GHK peptide, you know.
Yep.
Which was very interesting. So I thought, okay, I'm going to give it a shot. It seems like a lot of money, but I'm going to give it a shot. I don't have health insurance other than just the Medicaid or Medicare or whatever you have. So I thought this is like health insurance for me. So I have the L5 problem, a disc problem there. I was really deteriorating here in the last year. I lost my husband about 1.5 years ago. So I think that psychological aspects too, moving forward, it's kind of fix your hips back, whatever, financial issues, and, you know, not being able to go forward in life. So I tried this. I immediately got some pain relief. You know, I took the first months, and between ordering the second batch, the pain came back. It wasn't as bad. But I also have another chronic problem. I thought if you could get rid of this particular chronic problem, I will be an advocate of the X39. So now after 3 months, my pain is just about completely gone in the hip and the back. I have sometimes a little issues, but nothing. I would say it's 90, at least 90, 91, about 92% healed. this back issue. At the same time, I have like a condition, it's a female condition, lichen sclerosis. I don't know if any of you are familiar with it, but it is going away after 3 months.
What did you mind me asking? What that is?
Lichen sclerosis. It's actually kind of like they describe it as an autoimmune condition. Female, it affects your genitalia. You have, itching, burning, pain, all kinds of things. And it doesn't go away. There's no really medical treatment for it other than like steroid creams and things like that. I don't even go to a doctor. I wouldn't even attempt to try it. But I've done a lot of natural things that I have worked out energetically for myself. And again, I get some relief, but it always comes back. And so this all of a sudden I noticed this is going away. So like I haven't been bothered with it for 2-3 days. I'm like, oh my God, So it's like new tissue, is being rebuilt. So I am very happy with this, and will continue to share with my clients. I have shared with several other clients. I have one with the knee replacements, and he is improving. He just bought a 3-month thing, and he says he's really noticing the inflammation is going away. He's able to do things he couldn't do.
Wow.
And so I have had good results with this. And on the other hand, what you said about the reversal and the healing crisis, I have another depressed client. She's going in reverse right now. And I keep telling her, hang in there. You're going through this, and it's going to improve. And, we keep testing, but she's, the depression is a funny thing because people are stuck there, I think, so long. Sometimes they're very comfortable there, and they kind of fight it, So, but we'll see what happens. I'll keep you posted about her, but she's using the patch for, I think this is her 2nd month. Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Wonderful. Well, Sandy, thank you for sharing.
Sure.
And what a great, what I love most about what you said, Sandy, is that I don't have health insurance. And I'm buying X39 as my insurance. I'm turning that old tissue young so that I don't have issues. So I'm like 20 again. So Sandy,
yeah, because I'm not a real advocate of hospitals. I've had too many experiences. And,
absolutely. So we're going to move on now, Sandy, to Marina. Thank you so much. So Marina, would you like to unmute yourself? Did you have a testimonial? Are you there? Your hand's up, and that's okay. If you can unmute yourself in the left corner, but you might have just done that hand up accidentally. Cynthia Beck, did you have a testimonial? Did you want to say something, honey? Cynthia, are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Fabulous. This time I got it through my phone. Yay.
You did good. Yes, you did.
I'm progressing technological wise a little bit.
Yes, you are.
Thanks to you. So I have 2 short testimonials, one on X39 and one on the Dream Shine, if you'd like to hear both of them.
I want to hear it all. Yes.
Okay. So remember a while back, I was saying how the left side of my jaw had this big retracing from 1979, and I discovered putting X39 on it, and in an hour and a few minutes, I was able to open my jaw over 2 fingers and had all those other amazing things happen with my body.
Yes.
Okay, so 2 times now, and several weeks later, I'm sitting there, and my left shoulder is up too close to my ear. It's not down where it's supposed to be. So I put the X39 on that same spot on my left jaw. And in a few minutes, the left shoulder drops to where it's supposed to be normally. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
It went down so many inches. Just to take your left shoulder right now and hold it halfway up to your ear so people could see.
It was like that? That's
halfway,
what you were doing?
Right. Not quite that high, just a little lower. Okay, now drop it all down flat. See, like that?
Oh,
it just went down like that. Boom. And I was like, what is this? And my chiropractor was explaining, when you have TMJ, it affects, different parts of your body throughout your whole body. But I didn't know, because then I tried it again. Well, what if I put it where the neck and shoulder meet, like where it hurts? No, that wasn't even helping with the pain there or anything. So then the next time I tried it, I put it back in front of the ear. Boom, shoulders down, and it doesn't hurt. And I go, that's the spot. So for anybody who has TMJ issues and your shoulders too high and hurting and you're having trouble turning your head to the side, in front of the ear, that would be the
So you
spot.
put it right in front of the ear. You put what, X39 in front of the ear?
Yeah, X39, it's right where that, I forget the medical term. It's like that rounded spot
Yeah,
thing, right
yeah.
there in front of the ear where the hairline, kind of meets the ear. And you just put it, like right there, as long as you're within 3 inches of that. And yeah, it's pretty amazing.
I think
And
what Cynthia is really telling you guys is that any spot will do. Your whole body vibrates light. And she just wanted to experiment. She wanted to see where to put that patch to give her relief. And real quick, Cynthia, she talked about X39. So I want to make sure I tell you that is another stem cell activation patch like X39. It's the same type. They're all in a sleeve like this. It just says X49 on it. And I don't know, Jan, if you have an X. Oh yeah, Heidi, unmute yourself and say X49 so people can see that, please. So you have to say it. Go ahead.
X39, and don't forget to explain GHK, copper peptide.
Thank you. And then Cynthia, we'll come back to you. So X49 activates a peptide called AHK, which is the daughter peptide to GHK. What X49 does well is it builds lean muscle mass. It burns fat. It grows bones. It really helps with the structure of the physical body. It supports the brain and the heart. That's where most of the AHK is. And it also protects us from cell phone radiation internally from the 5G. So X49 is no joke. And the men also like a little extra testosterone boost from that. So I could see, Cynthia, where the X39, X49 was such a nice hit for your face now, or for your jaw, your lock. I'm sorry, what's that called? TMJ, thank you. And Cynthia, why don't you tell us your other story?
Sure. And just one more thing on the X49, which was there because the 39 wasn't doing it. It was the 49 that did it. That goes after soft tissue, muscle spasm. That's why the shoulder was, up too high and stuff was hurting, and why I could open my jaw, in the prior testimony I told you, and so forth. Okay. So the other one is for Dream and Shine.
Okay.
And my 83-year-old person whom you met in Houston, by the way, when you were there, that lady, she was so excited, to meet you. She told me, because she does physical therapy, and the physical therapist tells her, well, you have to do this like exercise. So she'd been using Dream and Shine, and she'd be using it maybe for a little over a week or something. And she goes in to see him, and he has her do this exercise called the clam, where I guess you lie on the floor on the side and you raise and lower your leg. And she was doing it so great. He said, oh, I can see you've been practicing your exercises. And she didn't tell him, well, no, I haven't. Now she's been using X49 for over a year and 39 for a year and a half. So the Dream and the Shine, just like David said, that those patches would act better. Look what it enabled her to be able to do with the clam. And she also said, the clam exercise, that it was way easier to do it. It didn't take effort like it had done before. And I was amazed that somebody, being older, I thought it would take a lot longer for their hormones and whatever to balance out and have, that particular thing happen. And then she said the other thing she noticed was when she's on the table and with the physical therapist and you have to like roll over. She said before it was always hard to roll over and slow and uncomfortable. And she said she just rolled over like it was nothing, like she was 20.
Wow.
And that's from Dream and Shine. And I said, how come I'm not feeling all that immediately, but I have different things wrong with me because I have TMJ, and she doesn't. Yeah. But isn't that amazing for somebody being older like that?
So Cynthia, let's go ahead and have, I'm going to have Heidi unmute herself. Do you have a Dream and a Shine, Heidi, that you can show and say Dream and Shine? Or does Jan unmute yourself so we can show people what this is? I gave my last Dream and Shine away, so I have to buy more right now. Yeah. So put that out there and say what to say.
This is the Shine that I just, and this is the box that it comes in, and this is the Dream.
Okay, so now spray your hand and show people how you activate Shine, because this is a very new technology. So did you see how she sprayed it on her wrist and then she's inhaling with her nose? And you do how many times? Is it 8 inhales?
I do 7 at night. When I do dream, I make like a ritual. When I get into bed, I take my dream and I spray it, and I just like have this ritual, and then I get my book and I start reading, and I get through a page, and I'm bye-bye.
Wow. So Jan has her dream ritual. So let's talk about what Shine does. Shine gives you energy in the morning. Dream puts you to sleep. You activate it through inhalation of your nose. So it activates through your nose, through, there's a name for that, ocular something. You practitioners should probably know what that is. What's that called again? Ocular something or other? Somebody help me with that. I don't know the name. Heidi, you should know the name. What's that called when you do
I
that?
think it's olfactory.
Olfactory. Thank you. I need
Pardon?
somebody help me with that. Olfactory. I was like thinking octopus, but it's olfactory. Okay, olfactory. So
Ocular is eyes.
say it again.
Ocular is eyes.
Ocular is eyes. Okay, but don't confuse me, Amanda. What's the nose again? Olfactory, right? Olfactory. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Oh my goodness, Amanda, you're the best. So what does Shine do? Shine keeps you up as an energy. Dream puts you to sleep. But in addition, it boosts testosterone and it also increases oxytocin. Of course, testosterone is wonderful for men, for even women. Everybody gets more muscle growth. Hold on. And oxytocin is the love hormone. And guess what? When you have more oxytocin, when you're in love, guess what happens? Your tissues repair. And so I think it's really interesting that Cindy's testimonial of her client or friend was of youthful regeneration of tissue. That makes sense. And I also say that every single testimonial today, by the way, thank you practitioners for talking about yourself and your clients. We had symptoms from lower back pain, disc change to, ear, TMJ to kidney issues, right? Like to pain. Like, did you notice that every single person spoke had a different chronic thing going on, but the results were all the same? The stem cells figured out what needed to be fixed and it started to go to work. So I love that. And I felt like we only have a few more minutes. I have time for maybe one more comment before
I just want to say I have to take the Shine away from my husband because it's working too much. If you get my drift. It's like, leave me alone already.
Okay, Gianni, you can mute yourself now. Goodness gracious, that's a little TMI. But yeah, I've heard that it can be good or bad depending on where you're at in life. So let's go on to how you can get this product. So get with the person who brought you here, and then you can go ahead and get started on these products. Next week, we'll talk about a few other technologies. I do want to mention Eon. Eon activates a peptide that reduces inflammation, and inflammation is an eater of stem cells. So David really likes X39 and Eon to be worn together, and that will turbocharge X39 to work better. And Sandy, I think you were talking about the woman that's still retracing with with issues of symptoms of, sadness, you know what I mean? And you may want to add the Eon with that for her. It just might get her a little bit of a hit to get working on the rest of that reset, so to speak. So how do you set up an office? Well, I'm going to quickly show you what Dr. Patty does for her office. And you want to write this site down, Start X39 Biz. That's startx39biz.com. And all you want to do is go into the 14 steps to success. You see that? And my favorite tab for practitioners is under tab 9, take the order. And you can just print out like 10 order forms. So you can take orders for your clients, and then Lifeway ships to your clients like Amazon and pays you a thank you check. So you can tell your patients $149 retail, $119 to be a preferred customer. Our favorite kit is the silver kit plus auto ship. You get 3 sleeves of X39, or 1 X39, 1 X49 equals 2 of any supportive sleeves. So for $2.99, you could literally fill a kit for, let's say, patient Jim with an X39 stem cell activation, X49 lean muscle mass, physical structure repair, and 2 eons for inflammation. And that would be $2.99 with a 30-day money-back guarantee. And then, of course, we always do 1 X39 the following month to keep your stem cells activating. That also keeps your business activating. And then we let people know the auto ship just keeps the X39 going, and then you can mix and match as you see fit. And then we just take their name, their credit card, their website. We make their first and last name lowercase all together, and we have a team password so we can be of service to our people, our clients. So that Dr. Patty likes that one. She also likes the protocol form. She uses this a lot. She has a pain and repair protocol. You can see as X39, X49, Eon, and Ice Wave. She has a detox and brain. She has a skincare protocol, a sleep protocol, and a hormone and digestion protocol. And then, of course, 1 X39 the following month to keep the stem cells activating. So Dr. Patty prints out like 10 of these. She actually hired an administrative assistant to work 10 hours a week just to input all her orders and follow up with all her clients. So everybody can do, you know, how they set up their service on this different. But then I also love the, oh gosh, we added some new things. I love the, let's see if I can find the 1-page all product. This then shows you all the other technologies. So you can find out, since you guys are practitioners, you know, what's going on with your clients. And these are more tools in the box. And we will be adding placement for animals here. And we're also going to be adding the Dream and Shine to this sheet. Sally, our designer and printer, is working on that right now. We also have the what to expect. You can also order these cards from Sally and have them in your office. This is what to expect, you know, the first few days, the first 1 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, 6 to 12 months. So this is really great. And you can print these off yourself. And this is brand new, Symptoms of Aging. We just did a real quick checklist about how you're doing before and after. So these are all, you could just print these off and have them right there in your office. So those I like. And once again, that's under startx39biz.com under the 14 steps to success. And that's under tab 9. A lot of my favorite documents are under tab 9. After you take the order and you don't know how to put the order in, you could go to tab 10 and you could just watch a video on how to put that order in after you've taken it. So it's all right there. Also, I very much like under Give a Gift. If you go here, tab 6 for offices, there's a lot of great things. You can order business cards right through Sally. You might want to take a camera and take a picture because Sally is our printer and our designer. And for example, Dr. Lisa is a pain management doctor, and I just made for her about 20 little packets, and she did a pain and repair pack where she put an X39, an Eon, and an Ice Wave in here. She sells the silver and gold protocols, and then she does one patch the spot to teach them patch placement before they leave the office. And that's where's your pain? Your shoulder. Ice Wave, the brown patch goes on the pain spot of the shoulder. The white patch goes about 3 inches away, and then an X39 and an Eon go on the shoulder. We call that pop the spot for pain. And so this, my doctors really like this a lot. They also like, and you can order this through Jan Rand, who is on the call, and her name and number is in chat. But if you go to order the gifting bag, I also call this the practitioner bag. It's $8, but if you're on this call and you would like to have a free bag, you can email Jan Rand and she'll get that for you. That is 10 of our gifting envelopes with the little plastics. The envelope explains the technology of our X39, and it also takes you to startx39now.com for education. And so I like that for offices. And lastly, I like, oh, and if you don't, if you just want to print out your own, that's the envelope right there. You could just print out your own. Like, you don't have to spend money. You can just print your own stuff. And then lastly, I really like the marketing supplies. This is all from Sally. And once again, there's her number. There's the business cards again. But a lot of my offices just want to go down and see what kind of stack cards. There's the envelopes. What kind of banners do we have for offices? These are like more stack cards. These are how the different patches work in a little card that you could put in your office. I love these ones. These are key benefits of each technology and placements of. So, you know, oh, there's Shine and Dream. She just added that, which is awesome. One of my favorite banners for athletes. Look at all the athletes that use our products. So basically then, if you want to have some great things for your practice, once again, go to the 14 Steps to Success, take a look at tab 9, take a look at tab 6, and then a lot of you wanted to know where those testimonials all are. You can go to tab 5 and you can join all our Telegram library. And this is where we have 3,000 testimonials. You do have to join Telegram first and then come back to the page, click the link, and you'll be on our Be Activating testimonial. If you don't know how to do it, you can call Jan Rand. She works for us with all the details and the logistics. And here's that preloaded the preloaded testimonials are right here. And under science, this is where you can find Tony Robbins. This is so good. David Schmidt's under here too, our owner, inventor, and CEO. This one was a great one. It was his 5 favorite patches and why. And then, of course, there is our sport testimonial. You guys, we were talking about, there's Ivory, our NFL player. So there's a lot of great things there as well. And last but not least, if you ever want to go to a podcast, the invites are right here. And today, for example, is Thursday. So you could go down for Thursday night and you could see what's popping for Thursday. And right now we're on the practitioner call, but you could definitely invite somebody to the Thursday night call tonight as an example. So once again, the 4 sites we use to move this business is startx39now.com. That's how we share the technology. Our business site is startx39biz.com. Our testimonial site is tab 5 under the 14 Steps to Success on the biz site. And of course, the replicating site is where we put the order in and it ships to your clients and the company pays you a thank you check. And if you go to the biz site, we've just, I believe, updated the pay portal, our new pay portal system, and how to access that. So we just keep getting better all the time. So with that, I want to thank you so much for coming to our practitioner call. The recording will be on the practitioner Telegram feed, as anything that has our practitioners or doctors talking go there as well. So I forgot. Hi, Irene, do you happen to have the Clubhouse link that we could put in chat? Could you put that in chat?
Yeah, so it was supposed to start at 1 and all my mods are going, where are you? Where's the room? But I told them that my guest speaker is running late. So I moved it to 1:30.
Fantastic.
But I can start it. What do you think? But I can start it like at 1:15.
Let's start it at 1:15. Let's put the link here and tell folks. So if you would like to come to Clubhouse, this is another social media platform. And Irene is one of the influencers and the moderators in Clubhouse. And we're going to talk about LifeWave here in Clubhouse in about 5 minutes. So in order to, and I'm just learning. Okay, I'm not a pro at Clubhouse. Okay, so if you just want to learn a new, I call it Zoom with more people in it. Okay, so if you want to learn that, what you would do is you go to your phone, your app, and you would download Clubhouse on either your Android or your iPhone. Once you download it, you have to sign up for it. You have to share your contacts. That's all good. And then Irene in this chat is going to put the link there, and that's the room. You can hit that link. You can actually email that link to yourself right now. and you can see what this is. And
Or text Marci, or text, because then they'll go right to their
yes,
phone.
but I don't know everybody cell number on here, so we need to put that link right now in Zoom for people to be able to click on it. Can
Yep,
we do
I'm
that?
getting it. Yes, I'm getting it right now. I had
Yeah.
to move it to my my laptop, so
Of
I'll have it up
course.
in just one.
Okay, wonderful. So just hang with us for a minute as we're learning this. I should have told Irene a little earlier, but I just remembered that that's what we're doing next. So there's nothing like the moment and now to learn new things, right? So we'll get that up, and I'm actually going to the top of my chat to grab. Wow, you guys did a lot of talking today. I'm going to grab everybody, and so here we go. And Irene, let us know when you have it up, and then we'll close the room down.
All right, I'm getting it right now, guys. So sorry for the delay. All my mods are messaging me, wondering where I am. I was texting them back. Okay. Come on, copy and paste. Let's go.
Awesome. We have 99 people interested to see how this works. So
I have it. I've got it. I've got it. We are in business. Here we go, guys. Get ready. Boom.
There it is. So what you guys do is you grab that, you can copy that, and then email that to yourself right now. And then you can go join Clubhouse. You gotta download the app and join. And then you're gonna go to your email, click this link, and we'll have that room open in about what, 5 minutes? Are we gonna open it at 1:15?
Yep, 1:15. I gotta message all my mods, and we'll see you there. Great.
Okay, we'll see you there. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.